you know times are tough when the thugs and the gangbangers are resorting to couponing. The fact that I'm standing in the store, somebody who I know is about the street life for real, I iced out all over. They smell like paraphernalia. If you catch my drift, talking about, hold on, let me open up the Ibotta app. Then gonna say every penny counts, right? Do you know how much of an economic crisis we are in for a thug to have Ibotta on their phone? The stuff is getting real interesting. The suburban moms are out here stealing. They put I would have never thought it. I would have never thought it. You stepping out of a $100,000 vehicle that Chad paid the lease up for a whole year, and you up there stealing. And they got you on camera. They just waiting for you to come back again. Times are tough.
Would have never thunk it. You know times are tough when you see the people in the luxury cars doing DoorDash. You pulling up in a Benzo. You pulling up in a Tesla. You pulling up in a Porsche. I'm seeing it all happen. A lot of people are being humbled. And speaking on the thugs, when the thugs start getting jobs, they start putting on Facebook, who's hiring? Oh yeah, you know the economy is in a rough spot.
I have a serious question. What is going to happen when doctors, nurses, and other essential workers can't afford to drive to work because gas is so expensive? I really think it's just going to keep getting more expensive. I mean, somebody predicted that it would be up to $5 by the end of June, and it's one of the first weeks in May, and it's already almost at $5. What's going to happen? What's going to happen when the minimum wage stays the exact same, but everything else keeps increasing? What are we going to do? And I'm not trying to be funny or like make satire content. I promise this is a genuine question. I'm trying to come up with ways to reassure myself and to have hope. But how do you have hope in a situation like this? I have this constant pit in my stomach of like dread and just constant stress because what am I going to do? Gas is $5 a gallon and you have to spend $20 to get 2 items at the grocery store. Nobody can afford that. At first it was like, okay, this is getting a little crazy. But I mean, at this point, what are we going to do? I'm not smart when it comes to this kind of stuff, like the economy or anything, or finances, but I do know that logically that doesn't make sense, nor would that be sustainable for people to live. I mean, even nurses and doctors who are making more expensive salaries, they're complaining of, not being able to afford gas and groceries. What about regular people making minimum wage? I'm just so scared. You wake up every day, you see something new in the news about how everything is going up, and I'm not getting an email saying that I'm getting a raise. What do we do?
We know that they'll start to tell people to work at home. How can you tell a doctor stay at home? Work remote. But I do know, remember when they started to test the AI? This seems to be a commonality on this channel, always talking about AI. Hey, we got to remember they started to test those AI surgeons. Your doctor's going to be AI too. You're going to type your diagnosis in. Go ahead and tell us verbally what you have going on, or type it. Diagnose you in seconds. And we'll go ahead and write you the prescription. Eventually, you won't even have to pick the prescription up. It's going to fly to your house via drone.
Anyone else feeling more depressed than normal lately? I'm just curious. Just this looming depression. And it's not like boohoo, lock yourself in a dark room depression, but you can feel something's off. My take is this. I just filled up my gas tank, and for $30, I got a day's worth of gas in my truck, essentially. And I'm realizing more and more of how fucked our economy is. I went through this last recession deal that we did in the early 2000s, and it fucking sucks. And this is all the signs of what it was. I mean, how many people out there right now have no credit card debt because you don't need to live on your credit cards? I make more money today than I did 5 years ago, by far. Yet I am tremendously broker than I was 5 years ago. If I would have made this money 5 years ago, holy shit, life would be amazing. But it's it's not enough. And now all of a sudden you kind of feel like a failure, and you start to get in your head of why am I constantly stressed? I mean, are you driving around with your check, your fuel light on, or are you giving up your health insurance because you're trying to cut corners somewhere just to get some more money and cash flow somewhere? I don't know, man. I will say this. I think it's going to get a lot worse, way worse than this before it ever gets better. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with addiction. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with mental health. Like, it's going to get fucking crazy.
They already are.
Kind of like it did back then. And
People already are struggling with mental health and addiction. Say it's going to get worse. It's going to worsen. Hey, but look, us skin folk, we've been through this. Shout out to the white people that been through this too. And the other races. Whatever race you are, shout out to the people that been through this. We kind of prepared. We know how to get through it. We might not have been through the exact extent of what's going to happen, but we know how to get through the struggle. That's the difference. The people that never been through it gonna have it hard. They not gonna know what to do.
I don't mean to be like some like sound the alarms or whatever bullshit, but I'm just like, I'm watching more and more people just using credit cards on shit and just not having money all of a sudden, and never slowed down the spending. And now all of a sudden it's like we didn't even slow down the spending and you're just broke. I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this is just a little phase. I guess we'll find out. I just want to let you know, if you're struggling right now, you ain't alone.
And this ain't a race thing. It's a known fact. And this ain't no race thing. It's a known fact. Skin folk have been at the bottom of the barrel for the longest. We had to rise up from the bottom, right? When hard times come, we know what to do. I think certain people are going to be leaning on us, asking us. You see how everybody's on the internet saying, what do we do? How do we survive? That's the good thing about going through it. You now have the answers of how to do it. Come and ask us, all of our fellow brothers and sisters that don't know. Come on, we got the answers for y'all. Shout out to y'all. We love y'all. It's just the truth. You're on a realist channel. That's what I'm here for.
My favorite excuse to use right now for basically anything is just saying, in this economy, look, it's just a catch-all for anything. It's like a utility knife. The cashier asks you at Chipotle, you want guac with that? In this economy, you about to throw away half that sandwich in this economy? That's $2.59 worth of sandwich.
Everybody gonna turn into Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. Real talk.
You got the windows down and the AC on in this economy? Boy, you rich. Me and my homeboy was chilling a few weeks ago. He's talking about, oh, I'm about to order some DoorDash. I'm like, in this economy? Bro, the Taco Bell right down the street. I say that shit so much, I start saying the shit it don't even apply to. You want me to wash the clothes and fold them same day in this economy? Man, it's like a financial no. Like, I'm not saying no just to say no. It's the economy fault. Even when it ain't. And don't confuse this with like some victim mentality stuff. It's none of that. I call this being financially aware. And to be honest, it probably doesn't save me from a bunch of bad financial choices.
You know what? We all should adopt the in this economy mentality. That should be our favorite phrase. It will save. It'll save from bad decisions. It'll save. It's time to save. We all need to save. It's cutback season. Remember, when the year started, it was no spend 2026. Have you kept up? Or did you break your promise to yourself? If so, hey, this is a reminder. Get back on that. In this economy, you shouldn't be spending extra money that you can't afford to spend. Not in this economy, you shouldn't. No way, not in this economy.
So on this TikTok, I've never talked about this. I've never talked about. So on this TikTok, I've never talked about this. I've never talked about like politics or my political affiliation, but question. How are you surviving in today's economy? And I ask this because my husband came home this afternoon. He went shopping, and normally it's me doing like Walmart, like pickups or drop off. So he never sees how much it is. And he's like, how are people fucking surviving? How are people surviving on these prices? Because they're ridiculous, you know, even at his standards. And, you know, I will say that we are very fortunate. Well, yes, we have to pay more. We are not figuring out, do I pay my mortgage or do I pay my electric bill? Do I pay my car note? Do I pay daycare? We don't have to worry about that. So we, you know, I'm so fucking thankful for that. But the people that are, you know, barely making a livable wage, how are you surviving? As I said, I never talk about politics, but our lovely president was bragging that, oh my God, credit card spending has never been so high. Why are we fucking bragging about that? My son, people are using credit cards because they don't have enough fucking money to be able to buy things. So now they're spending stuff at a 30% fucking interest rate, hoping hoping that in the future, maybe they will be able to pay it back. That's not a flex or a brag. And then, we took away, how the fucking interest rate with the cap, and which is credit cards, and the interest rate is just predatory lending. Credit scores are predatory lending too. But if you ever wonder where my fucking political stance is, release the Epstein files. I think all children should have free lunch. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. And when we say save the kids, let's really save the kids, not this bullshit that we hide behind. And a woman's body is a woman's body, and it's her right. So if I lose people, I don't really give a fuck. But my genuine question is, regardless of what side the line you're on, how are you surviving? Because it is a tough world out there. And I just know, like, this past Christmas, I couldn't believe, we were able to help over 75 families provide a Christmas. And I just feel like this year is going to be even worse. And it's a very scary world we live in. So how are you surviving? And I guess the better question is, are you okay?
Let me ask you as well. Are you all right? How are you surviving? As y'all know, the comment section is open for discussion. I love reading it. Other people love reading it as well, I'm sure. Hey, we're a community. This is what we're here for, to be here for one another. Another thing you should know by now, your brother YT is a man of solutions. This is what you do. Since everybody's so deep into credit card debt, people are going to keep using credit cards until they no longer are able to afford paying the minimum. This presents opportunity. You learn how to repair credit. You start a credit repair business. You do it very cheap in comparison to everyone else out there who's charging $1,000. You charge a lower rate than that. You take all of their customers, you get a lot more customers, you have a business. You sell digital products based around that business, teaching other people how to do the same thing that you're doing. From the money that you make off of repairing credit, you run ads to get more customers. There you go. You have a business that'll last, that'll continue to have a bigger clientele. As all other businesses are struggling, yours will continue to grow.